Hey, this is Kurt the Boat Doctor out here in a 2023 2250 Ultra Centrecab. It's about 80 gallons of fuel on here, about 28 long on the trailer, depending on the trailer. I didn't get to check the brake fluid. I'll have to pull this up to pop this cap off to check. You got a round 7 top mount coupler, about 23 from the bottom to the top. Always make sure your trailer is perfectly level. When towing, it makes it a lot easier to tow, save on fuel economy, less sway. And going up hills is just a lot better if that's level. So find some level ground, make sure you adjust it for your truck on the right height. You got a 2-speed fold and spare tire. I put this line on it like this is a single line. I've strapped it to here. The reason is, like even yesterday, the tide was high, and with those slick bumps, you got 4x4. Now he's supposed to be coming down here and putting these slicks on it. Doesn't have them now. And the anchor is not in the boat, so I'll put that in my notes. So I don't know if they got it up front or they're ordering it or what. It's got window washers for your wipers that actually like a car. They'll spray water on there. Use Rain-X window wash 50/50 split. They got it at your parts store. Forward leaning window, tinted. It helps shade your electronics, and the shade helps keep the sun out. Top rails, you got your big heavy duty welded rails up to the bow. You got the G3 tubing pre-flexed on these bends. The more bends, the stronger you get. It's already rigged up for a bow mount self-deploy. You don't really need a self-deploy on this because you do have the walk around. You have the good anchor system up here that tilts down like this, which that's what you want, because if they're straight, you don't have the weight sometimes to drop the anchor when you have a windlass. Keel roller, again, the keel does not rest on that. It's just protection if you dip too much of the trailer in. I do get a question a lot on how far to back the boat into the water. General rule, I mean, it depends on how deep and how high the water is, how low the water is, how deep or how high the ramp is, the incline, decline. So low tide, of course, you're almost gonna have to submerge it. You know, high tide, maybe up to here, right in the center of the wheel. But what I normally do is back it in when I'm backing it in, depend on the water, again, the height, to where I just see the boat budge, just like it was coming off the trailer. That's how much I'll put back into the water. Okay, that's a good rule of thumb. Most of the time it's the top 30% that's dry. You got gear bath oil up, brown good, white bad, 5 lugs. These must be like 15s. ST, what are they? 215 75 oval 75 R 14s. I was gonna say that, but you know, hey, height is under 10, 9, it's 9.6 or something like that from the bottom without radar or anything, the way it sits now. Back to the hole, you got rub rail, big cleat, or not cleats, but straight. If you look at that, it's kind of like a reverse straight. So that's going to help it keep stable, as well as this right here. It kicks down, you got 1. So you got 1 here, you got 2. So it's about they call it G3 tubing. So I don't know where they get that, but anyway, well, yeah, I can see that. Anyway, you see this, how it tapers. It goes like this, and then it goes down, and then it goes down more and wider and flatter towards the back. And see how steep that is back there? That's what keeps this thing very stable and turning. Like it'll turn on a freaking dime. Is just because of that reverse and this strake here, it digs in. They call them lifting strakes, but I actually call them like keeping the boat straight. They could help lift, but I guess it's keeping the boat straight, so that's why they probably call them lifting strakes. But it'll actually help on your turn to grab water, and then if you're just idling, it'll help you kind of keep the boat straight. And this is the only boat that I know of. There may be one other that in current, if I'm running east to west, get a north wind, I can have it neutral and just steer the boat with the steering wheel without it being in gear. And that's a lot because of this aero design right here. It actually helps even when you're pulling the boat in, if you're going to pull it up to the trailer, because it glides through the water instead of having a blunt end. Same thing with the rear, it has the same aero design, so you can spin this thing. I'll show you that when I get out in the water. Got load guides, and these are right where they should be, heavy duty. Trim tabs, you don't need the big thick ones that go clean out to here. Transducers, mount down as low as you can. Hydraulic steering. You got a 15x15 stainless right-hand turn. Yamaha saltwater 2. You use those 15 diameters on V6 motors because they got the bigger gear case. They can withstand the stainless, the weight of them, and do the saltwater 2. They're a lot better prop. They're thicker. They got a sharper cut to them. You can feel the thickness on that, and they're cupped right here. So there's a lot of little different things that make these different. So there is differences in stainless. You don't need the fin. This is zinc. You got zinc here. You got the hydraulic steer here. You got a little bit, but you can normally tell if the steering needs bled. If you can move this like that much by doing this, that means you got air in the system. You got a kicker bracket. This bracket here is only good for like a 9.9. You'd have to get a bigger bracket for the T25, but a 9.9 would do this fine. 2023. There's your drain plugs. There's your gas vent. I put in 60 gallons. That's non-ethanol. Gear bath oil is brown, good. A disc on all 4. They fill them with nitrous, but you can use regular air. This is green caps. Tandem axle, cleat. So cleats where you need them. Come over here. Now this is a 250. I'm going to try something. Now 300 on here will do about 48 right in there. You know, hard. I mean, if I got it trimmed just right, about 48. Now the 250 sometimes did 48 to 49. In the 225 would do 50, 52. So a lot of that's in the gear case because of weighting. There's just a little bit of weight difference between this and the 300. So your 200, 225, 250 is basically the same motor. But on this boat, it's only 22, so it ain't gonna matter as far as weight. But generally going to the 300s, if you got this weighted to the hilt, that's where the 300 would have the same power as if it had one person. Now that there, just make sure that's on, but not super tight. See how that was loose? Water could get in there. So you just want to just hand tighten it, just like that. Don't over tighten those. Water will come out here. If you have tuna tubes that are coming out back and you have them running, they can overflow, get into this and go in here, go in the bilge. So some people say, well, why am I taking on water? Well, the tuna tubes are filling up in through that hole. You got your step here. You got brackets here for options, talent options. You got bait tank. If you want to fill that, you go ahead and put a drain plug in that. Overflows right here. And I like this matting they put, this non-skid matting all the way around. Pole holders, cup holder, tackle holders, sliders for your pole holder, wash down, tie downs. Here's your switch. You must have these relays. This here's for your windlass winch. This here must be for his electric rod that he's going to be putting in. I take it. Or crab davit. He's got it wired with breakers. He's running the, and then I gotta prime that up, I imagine. Hopefully they turned that valve on. They did. Because it seems like it's priming good. Arrow's got to be facing up. It's getting hard, good. I go to the Yamaha. I know that you like that see-through bowl, get rev it, do the 10 micron, change that once a year. Okay, batteries are up under here. Boom, boom, dual. You can put one more if you wanted to in there. Close that up. Take my book. You got Icy Tech coolers. You could do cantilever seats. 153. Tie rides. These are the shock waves. You'll get a little pump that you can air those up. Grab handles, speakers, Fusion stereo. Light, but I turned the thing off. 6CL 5 gauge. Trim tabs, 703 control box. This here you would go like this, and this here would fold down, and then this cushion would slide in between that and make a bed. That just pops up. Foot rests, trays, grab handles, grab handle. Nice display, good 16-inch will go here, flush mount. Radio will go in there. You can put it anywhere you want. And then Fusion, I'll take this off. Grab handles right here. So he's going to do his own electronics. These here are for the boxes to sit on. He's got 1, 2. I don't see why he needs 4. but he's got 4, maybe to put there too. I'm gonna give you an extra 2. So then what I'm gonna do is turn on the battery right here, switch here, turn that on, go up here, see how the fusion's coming on, then the light, red, white, tap it again. Okay, see if the gas works. Trim tabs come on automatically, or every time you turn the key on or off, the trim tabs are going to go up all the way. Like I say, there's no anchor, but the windlass does work. Trim tabs work. Okay, transom light, washer, that's a washer. The fill bottle's up underneath there to fill your window washers. So transom light, lights, courtesy lights. I see the transom lights. I'm going to check that. I don't see a light on there. Nav light, wiper. There's your hose. It just came undone. Right there. So I'll have to clip that. Tuna tube, don't have it. Bay tank. Bilge pump. So it is working, available gallons. This one's working and set up right. Put it on the dark mode. Go over here, use your trip. Back, vote to settings, calibrations, trim set 0. I'll do that out there. Device settings, units, statute, that's fine. Oh, device settings, go to brightness, go here, get that up so I can see it. Trim works.